thought I'd go live and show you guys how I make some gel plate prints. I've never really done this whole YouTube live situation before, so this should be interesting. Just give me a second while I kind of like set up a bit. All right, so take my, I'm wearing a really long sleeve sweater. As many of you know, long sleeves are not conducive to gel plate printing. I would show myself, but you guys aren't here for me. You're here for the gel plate prints. All right. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize this YouTube. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start out with is just making a couple of backgrounds. So for this gel plate print situation, I've already had my my sheets pre-ripped. Some of them are pre-cut. Quite honestly, I don't have a plan. I'm just doing things. So let's start with the first background. One of my favorite colors to use is this yellow ochre. I use it all the time. I think I use this in every single print that I do. Oh, whoopsies. So I'm going to go ahead and put down this yellow ochre. For me, it's just a nice light color that blends really well with different backgrounds. I guess I just like what I like, and I like what I like. Okay, so the image that I'm going to try and transfer first is this image of an elephant. It's a really up close image of an elephant's face. I love elephants. I think they're such majestic creatures. All right, so I'm rolling this out onto the plate, really nice and thin. I got this new gel plate, you guys, because I got tired of using my little one. And because I'm so used to using the little plate, I never put enough paint on the plate. All right, so we got like just a nice thin background. Oh, ow. Here, let me just, that's a little bit better. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, and I'm gonna just take my elephant. I'll put my elephant over top. I have one of these things that I use to press the paper into the plate, but I find that my hands work better just for me. Because then I can feel how far I'm pushing it down, making sure the sides are done. I know that's like such a silly thing, but that's how I do. Okay, then I pull that off like that. I'm going to take a little bit of white, and I'm going to use the white to just do the background like this. I didn't advertise this live to anyone. I just kind of jumped on because I'm trying to catch my bearings, and you never know. Maybe YouTube lives are something that I hate. Maybe they're not. So let me just do it up and see what happens. All right, so that's the background. It would have been wise to already have my paper handy. So I do have my paper now. And I'm just going to grab a sheet of paper. And I like to just line it up to the end because I just cut off the excess anyways. And press that in. Voila, this is my background. So remember I was saying it's just like a nice light textured background, and that's exactly what we have here. I'm going to go ahead and let's grab a color wheel. I always forget. So a little bit of green. Oops. A little bit of green would be good with that. You don't have to use your color wheel, but I'm trying to create something harmonious, so that's why I'm using my color wheel. I'm going to mix this with a little bit of white. Bam. If you guys want, we could schedule a day that we just go live and we talk about art and we do art things on the channel. Until then, I'm just gonna go live whenever I feel like it. So I kind of felt like it today. It's just a random Tuesday. All right, so now I'm going to grab this image, and I'm literally just grabbing the images that are on top. There's no rhyme, no reason, just making prints for you guys. Oops, that one's off kilter just a little bit. Use a piece of paper. And I love this beautiful avocado green. It's stunning. So I just want to get rid of that side bit there. Take that off. Bam. Now we're going to get this and put that back. And I know in the grand scheme of things it might look like a little bit odd, it won't line up properly, but it all comes together in the end like it always does. Roll that in there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's so stunning. So that's our second layer. What do you guys think? Or whoever's watching, should we just do one more layer? Let's do, okay, let's just finish the print. So it's like this. And I'm going to grab this girl here, and she'll be the last little bit of this print. So typically I use like a, I don't know, like a black, but today let's go for like a dark blue and a little bit of green because it'll look a little bit more harmonious. So the print itself will look a little bit better. So because this is just a little image, I'm not putting a lot of ink, or sorry, a lot of paint onto the gel plate, and I'm concentrating the mixture just to the middle of the plate. So I'm just rolling it out nice and thin onto the middle of the plate where she's going to go. There we go. I'm going to grab this gal right here and place her right smack in the middle. I'm going to take this piece of paper. I'm going to take this piece of paper and overlay it. What that does is it gets rid of the excess on the side, and that's how we get that nice clean image. I'm giving you guys all my secrets, but I'm sure you guys already know all gel plate secrets. There's so many gel plate videos and tutorials on YouTube here, so, and look, it gives you a nice little outline. You guys already know all the fun things. Oh boy, hate when that happens. But it looks as if our girl here did not translate very well, but we don't know that until we go to take a positive of the image. Let's roll it out and see what we got. So she's there, but it's really faint. And one of the things with doing color photographs or color images, They don't have that high contrast quality of, say, like a black and white like this one does. So it doesn't really pick up the ink quite as well. So I'm gonna try another image. Let's try this image right here with some black ink and see what we got. And pardon me if I keep saying black ink, you guys. I mean black acrylic. It's just that typically when I do printmaking, I'm using inks rather than paints, and it is so hard to train the brain not to say ink, but I'm working on it. All right, so we roll out a nice thin layer of black paint onto the gel plate. And since, you know, we did an overall thing, let's use this image because it's larger. So this is the image, and place that down onto the gel plate like that. And take a piece of paper. I'm just gonna rub that in, cover that. I always just use the same roller, brayer, whatever you want to call it, and go over it just to make sure that we get any of the excess that is. So it picks up all the excess from the outside and then just leaves the image. Now let's take this off nice and slowly. All right, so as you can see, compared to the other image, this one looks like it's working out really well. We have a really strong image, and that's what you want to see. So I'm using my hands to push the paper into the plate first of all. You don't have to do this. This is just my technique. For some reason, I think it works better than saying using this thing. This thing gets the paper so dirty. No matter what I do, it gets it so dirty. All right, moment of truth. Look at that. Do you guys see the difference? So while we want to use some color images, black and white is best. That is so stunning. That is so good. I didn't expect it to turn out as well as it did. I think that's amazing. I don't even know if anyone's watching. I'm just chatting to myself. Okay, that one's done. Let's move on and make another gel plate image. All right, what color should we start with? Let's check to see if there's anybody in the chat. What color shall we start with? There's nobody there. Okay, all right, let's do blue. Since we're here alone, we'll do, so I'm going to use this blue. This is just a good old acrylic blue. And I'm going to mix some white with this on the gel plate. A lot of you have asked, like, why do you mix the colors on the gel plate? I mix them on the gel plate because I like the unexpected patterns that you get when you mix the colors on the gel plate. You never know what you're going to get, rather than just mixing the colors and putting them on the plate. So see, we're getting some areas of deeper, darker blue and some areas of nice, lighter blue. So I don't know. I like that. I find it really interesting. I typically like to start with a lighter color, but we're just giving her, I guess. All right. So I'm going to use this image of a couch. Your base image can be anything you want it to be. Like, I'm just building the image. I like to do something totally random. Oops, I shake the camera. When I first start, I'm going to use this roller to press the paper into the plate, because at the same time, it's sort of like cleaning the roller. Some of you might disagree with me, but I don't know, that's how I like to do it. All right, so that's the image onto the plate. Then I'm going to get my white acrylic paint, and I'm going to create like a little bit of a backing. Typically, you should let this dry or dry somewhat in between before you do this, but like I said, I'm not super precious about the background image, and for my purposes, it works best to not have things really perfect. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit more. And if you guys are wondering about what we're doing here, we're just creating monoprints using our gel plate print or gel plate. We're using magazine sheets to create these prints, and we're just having a little bit of fun. Okay, so I get a sheet of white paper, place it over a gel plate. Press it into the gel plate. Like I said, I like to use my hands. And use a clean roller for this because, I don't know, maybe I want to give this print away to somebody. So let's try and keep this one as clean as possible. And then you pull it. And it creates this nice, beautiful base layer. You can still see the chair. You can see the candies that were in the chair, but it's not quite as effective as this just yet. So that's our first layer. Now we're going to move on to layer number 2. Let's see what we have here. We have this living room scene. Let's do this in, I'm going to do this in the lighter blue. So this is bright aqua blue, so I'll put that on. No mixing of white required for this one because quite honestly, it is such a vibrant blue. All right, let's go. So make a nice thin layer onto the plate. And you know what, maybe I think I'm going to change this image a little bit just to add a little bit more dimension. Let's go with an image of a face. I'm going to go with this. Is this Keira Knightley? I think that's her. Put this on there like that. Remember what I said before, sometimes the color images do not translate quite as well as the black and white images. So because I'm not going to be reusing the back of this, I have no problems with using my dirty roller to just roll that on. Moment of truth. Bum, bum, bum. There she is in the gel plate. Now I'm going to take that image that I made previously, place that over top, like so, and rub that in. Push that all the way into the plate so that you get a nice clean impression. Here, let's see. There we go. So because we're using like colors, you can just see like the faint outline of the image into the gel plate. Now we're going to move on to our last layer. Let's see, what should it be? What should it be? Do you want this one or this one or this gal? What shall it be? Let's see. I think, oh my goodness, sorry, I'm trying to, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. I was debating between this and this. I think I'll go with this. Okay, so we're just gonna get some black. Throw it over top right there. And you have to be careful not to put too much of the paint onto the plate because it really messes with the integrity of the print. If you find that you have too much paint onto the plate, you just roll your brayer / roller on a piece of paper and it takes away some of the paint from the brayer. All right, and I'm going to take this image here and we're going to place it. You know what? Maybe not that one. Sorry guys, I'm like indecisive. Okay, fine. Well, we'll just use it. That's what I said I was going to do, so I'm going to do it. This is what typically happens in the studio when I'm by myself. I'm so indecisive. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. So because I'm not going to use this section of the image, I'm going to just roll over like that. And pull that off for the moment of truth. Ooh, this should be interesting. This is a busier image than I typically go for, so this is what we have, and let's see what we're going to end up with. Let's pull that off. Hey, that looks not so bad. Isn't that cool? So this is the image. This is what we made on her first try. This is our second try. I think that looks really cool. The image is translated really well and it looks fun. Should we make another? Okay, one last one and then we're gonna sign off for the night. Let's do something bright. I'm going to start again with yellow ochre. I'll just put that right here. I'm going to mix this yellow ochre with a little bit of white. Just little dollops of it. And mix that in. I'm thinking about doing weekly lives, so if that's something, if you're watching the recording of this video and that is something that you're interested in, let me know and I'll tell you guys what day I'll be going live each week. So I'm going to use this image of a living room once again. I'm not very precious about the base layer because it's the layer that nobody even sees. No one will see it. Here, let's get these bad boys out of the way. No one's gonna see it really. It's just going to add like interest to the print, but it's not going to be, wow, the end all be all of the print. So that's what we end up with. Now I'm going to do something a little bit controversial. Well, it's not really controversial. I just never do this, but I'm going to add a different color than white of a base layer. So I'm going to just do a little bit of this. And I'm dabbing this in the areas where there's no, where the image is not there, so that it is not taking away too much from the image. So here, like that. There we go. Oops. All right. I'm going to take a sheet of white paper. And we will go over this like so. And if you like this content, don't forget to give a thumbs up or subscribe or not. It's really up to you, but it helps the channel. So thank you guys to all those who've subscribed. I really appreciate it. And then you pull the image off. And look at that. So it gives it like this really nice antique-y sort of look. It's a different vibe. It looks almost like a gilded copper. So I think that's really neat. Then I'm gonna do this little lady here with her horse on the second layer, and I'm gonna do that in 2 different types of green. So I have this green here. Come on, green. Or maybe I'll do green and white. Let's do green and white. Green and white. Ooh, I think that green is a little too close to the green we already have, so this might be not a good decision, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna see. So here we go. And again, I'm just gonna use a piece of paper to get rid of all the excess. Off. Wow, look at that. That's interesting. It didn't capture her face. It gave her, she's faceless, but okay. I'm gonna go like this. So this is her image previously. Now we're gonna take a positive and see what we end up with. And if you're just joining, we're doing some gel plate prints. They're super fun. So there we go. You can barely see the image of the lady with the horse because the greens are too close and there's not enough contrast. But that's okay. We're going to do another layer, and I'm doing a lot of green, so bear with me. It'll make sense in the end. So I'm gonna do this fluorescent green. I've never used this on the gel plates before, and I'm kind of excited and a little bit apprehensive because we're literally figuring this out together. So give me grace. Maybe I should mix this with a little bit of white. It's pretty thin. Usually if I was just doing this by myself in the studio, I'd be like, oh, bad idea, but we're going with it. It's happening. So this feels to me like a little bit too much paint on the gel plate. So what I'm going to do is clean my brush off with, clean my brayer off just by running that on a piece of paper. There we go. That consistency is a little bit better. All right. I'm going to take my image, place that there like this, rub that into my plate, like so. Get that nice and in there. And pull that off slowly. Oh, that's interesting. So I traced this image previously, and the trace of the image has come out into the gel print. That's different. That's never happened before, but okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. You can see where I traced the image that was on the back side of that, and it came out into the plate. All right, So this is going to be the last layer of this image, and then I'm going to sign off for the day. So we're going to put this guy on here. Let's see how that works out. So we're going to use our Mars Black. I go through a lot of this stuff because it's my favorite. Put 2 little dollops on there. Whoopsies. I'm working in a very tight, confined space, you guys, so there we go. I'm going to take this and place this here. I'm going to place this towards the end of the plate because his fingers are cut off, so it will look a little bit better right there. I'm going to put that over top. Oh, come on. Like that. Whoopsie, sorry for hitting you guys. Confined spaces. Every time I hit the tripod, the camera shakes. Okay, so I pull that off. Voila. Then we're going to take this off, and the image should translate just so beautifully underneath. Look at that. This is going to look so good. All right. So just another time for memory. This is what it looks like. And we're going to put this over top like so. We're going to roll that into... Roll it in, roll it in, roll it in, roll it in, roll it in. Roll it into the plate just like that. So we're just going to roll it into the plate and continue to roll it in there like that. And then we're going to, oops, I knocked you guys back. So I'm going to take that off nice and gently like this. And look, isn't that amazing? It looks like I touched right where his face was supposed to be. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this live. If you like these videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you guys want me to go live more often, just let me know and I will set aside some time to go live and, you know, show you guys what we can do with the gel plate. So these are my 3 prints. So there's this one, and this one that we made today. And yeah, thank you guys once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, hey, yeah, okay, Cynthia, more lives. Awesome, I'll do more lives. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.